Here we are.
Hello.
I love our intro.
What an intro. That is amazing. Is that your daughter at the end?
Yeah, that's my daughter at the end. We were practicing with it and then she just did that. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Let's roll with it.
I feel like I have some big shoes to live up to now after that intro.
No doubt. We do. So yeah, we're here doing the Okanagan Real Estate Podcast. I think it's an awesome idea. I think it's crazy that we don't have one.
I know.
And as I know, you listen to the Vancouver Real Estate Podcast quite a bit, and I've started listening to those guys. And man, they do a really good job. So yeah, we've got some big shoes to fill.
We do. And there's so many people interested about the Okanagan, and there's not a lot of information out there. People think of it as a retirement community, or they just think about it because of wine. And I think there's just so much more information that's not out there.
I think so too. And I think a lot has changed. I think we've had a huge demographic shift with all the young people coming into town. And, you know, our cultural district has really evolved and a lot of things have changed. So hopefully we can showcase that a little bit in our podcast. And of course, we live real estate. So we're going to talk about real estate. We're hoping to do this every week. That's the plan. And we're
going to stick to it.
Yeah, we're going to stick to it because consistency is key. And yeah, so I guess we can introduce ourselves. For those that don't know, my name is Marika. I live in Kelowna, and that's where I'm broadcasting from today. I have been selling real estate for a long time. I've been in Kelowna for almost 11 years now, never going back. I came from Calgary. Before that, I was in Toronto. So I've kind of been all over. This is my spot. I love doing different things with, media and real estate. So I'm really excited to be part of this and kind of showcase our Okanagan and talk about real estate for, a half hour, an hour.
Absolutely. And my name is Raina. I specialize in the South Okanagan, and I'm broadcasting today from Penticton, BC. I am a newer real estate agent, and I was actually born and raised in Burnaby, BC. So I am a city gal at heart. I lived downtown Vancouver in Yaletown for 8 years of my life and really enjoyed that lifestyle, walking everywhere, didn't even need a car, living in a 500 square foot shoebox. And I don't know, the Okanagan was calling to my husband and I, and it has been such an amazing shift. Just the ability to actually, first off, own a home and be able to afford a house, because in Vancouver, honestly, the real estate there is just nuts. So yeah, the opportunities are endless in the Okanagan, and we live in Penticton up on a hill, and there is so much wildlife. I am not used to it from living in a city. The other day there was I looked up like from my computer, and on the hill there was 30 deer, like just running like in a herd across the hill. And I was like, am I in a National Geographic film right now? Like, where's David Suzuki? Like,
beautiful in that sense, right?
Yeah. So it's incredible. I'm really enjoying it so far.
So we're going to hear a lot of stories about you transitioning and learning how to really slow down your life, because I know when I moved here, that's what happened to me. It took me like a good year and a bit to really slow down, because the pace here is just slower,
It is. And I'm learning that there's snow in October and November, and that's something I'm not used to, but I'm absolutely loving it. There is so much less rain, and this is one of the driest cities in all of Canada. So if you're looking to get out of that sad state of the fall and winter and the constant rain in Vancouver, this is an amazing place to be.
It's funny you say that. So it's the weekend, right? It's Saturday today. I was planning on doing something outdoorsy with the kids today.
Yeah.
And as we know, we got this freak snowfall in October, and we just got some snow yesterday. So the whole plan was to go sledding. And this morning I'm like, okay, we, talk to our friends, we're going to go sledding. And I look outside and it's freaking sunny and there's no snow. So I'm like, kids, look outside, there's no snow. So
the weather changes so fast. I had like 6 inches here the other day, and today there is like not one sign of snow.
Right? I know.
I don't know what season it is.
Like it comes and then it just goes away, and I'm fine with that. I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah, me too.
Awesome. So you had a good week then?
I did, yeah. And yesterday was Friday the 13th. So did you have any bad luck yesterday?
I actually did have some bad luck yesterday. So it's never happened to me before. I blame Friday the 13th. I had some clients in town, and in the morning I had to go out to Lake Country. First thing, I was dropping the kids off. I forgot my laptop at home. So instead of, spending 2 hours working, I just, played around with my phone, called some people. And then I was driving out kind of outskirts of Lake Country. All my service to my phone stopped. So I had no Google Maps and I had no texting.
The whole time. How to function without Google Maps anymore. Like what did we do before this?
Right. Well, before I used to carry around like a book like this, and it was a map, like a map book. The MLS would come out with a new one every year. But anyway, so I had to call somebody to give me directions on how to get to a place. Thank God I could still call people. So yeah, that was my day. It was brutal. The realtors that I was dealing with were very accommodating, and they helped me with getting into lockboxes and stuff. And thank God we didn't have a whole full day. It was just the morning. So it worked out. But yeah, it was super stressful for sure for that little bit, and a little bit embarrassing, but you roll with it.
It happens. Like we rely so heavily on technology, and then when it fails us, like what are we supposed to do?
No, and that's the thing we do, because now with my phone, we get into lockboxes, right?
Yeah.
We don't really use the cards anymore. That's old school technology at this point.
Yeah, you wouldn't even have that on you anymore.
Well, imagine if you're like out in the outskirts and you have no internet or Wi-Fi or nothing. Like then you can't. What do you do?
So difficult.
Got to be prepared.
Exactly.
So should we do a shout out to our sponsor for our first ever Okanagan Real Estate Podcast?
Absolutely. A shout out to our favorite brokerage, eXp Realty. We actually just wrapped up an amazing week of eXpCon 2020 in our online world, which had some amazing guest speakers, including Robert Herkovec from Shark Tank and some top producers in our company. And they were sharing all of their secrets. They put it all on the line, which was amazing that all of us could be in this one conference hall, and yet we're scattered across the globe, which is still just so amazing to me.
Yeah.
We had some great breakout sessions, and
what I love about our company is that it's all about collaboration.
Yes.
It really takes the competition out of working in real estate. It's just amazing. And just hearing from the top producers, like the number one eXp agent in Canada or the US, getting tips from her and other people, it's just amazing. And the technology we have to be in that conference together, like hundreds and thousands of us, that's super cool.
And just the ability to network, like we had these breakout sessions, and I met so many people that you're able to speak to one-on-one that you would never get that opportunity if you were across the nation normally. So it was really cool.
Or even if you were at an actual conference in person. So, I mean, I'm liking this virtual stuff and the whole working from home thing. So we can talk a little bit about that later.
Yeah.
Okay. So huge shout out to eXp. We love you.
And if you are a new agent and you're looking for a brokerage, we would love to share our experiences with you. So if you have any questions, eXp is a top brokerage with the latest training and technology. So feel free to reach out to us at exprealtykelowna@gmail.com.
Yeah, I'd be happy to talk about eXp because I will not be anywhere else. And I'm so glad I moved here. And I also think that people don't know about eXp how we know it, because we're actual agents. So I think it's really important to get real info from real people that live it every day. Like
100%. Like being a new agent, the amount of training that's available to you, it's endless. We have 50 hours of live training a week that you can tune into pretty much anytime between 7 a.m. and 5 p.m. every day. And live people that you can ask questions to. I know, shout out to Dan Strickland, who's amazing. I text him all the time, the most random questions, and he gets back to me like within a half an hour with all of the information.
Isn't it great? I know, and I think people often think that, oh, we have nobody that supports us, but we do. Like literally, we're in a chat, all of us, we get brokers with, like we have 5 brokers that I can text or call or go on workplace chat. And within minutes, I have a response. Like it's crazy. And for new agents, I think it's amazing because of the training. We go all the way from basics, like becoming a brand new agent, things you should be doing every day, to more advanced stuff, right? So there's a little bit of everything for everybody. And the amount of people that want to help you is surreal. Everybody does. Like there's no one's going to say no to.
It's almost overwhelming in the beginning. How many people reach out and you're like, how do you know who are you?
Yeah, everyone is so stoked. Yeah, it's awesome.
It is. It's like a big family.
It's a big family. Absolutely. So let's get into some market stats. Do you want to do a market update for your area?
Yeah, so jumping into the South Okanagan, the October numbers are out. And so the average single family home is sitting about the mid 600,000s right now, which is up from months and years prior. And the average days on market is 68, which is down 35% from last year. And current inventory is also down 30%. So single family homes are definitely a seller's market right now. I know personally there's been some homes that are priced appropriately and in a really good area, and they're getting snapped up within weeks, if not days, of hitting the market. So single family homes are where it's at. As for townhouses, the prices are trending up right now. They're sitting in the mid 400,000s. Their days on market are also up, which is interesting. They're at about 105 days, and inventory is down. So I think what we're seeing here is a lot of newer high-end luxury townhouse developments that are coming out, like Riverside, where their price point is in the high 800,000s. But these are luxury townhomes. Like a lot of them here right now, they've got 1,000 square foot rooftop decks. They've got built-in kitchens outdoors. Like it's luxury living at its finest. So we're seeing a higher demand for that sort of townhouse, especially in Penticton right now.
That's
what
awesome.
I think is interesting about the condo market is that the price point is actually in the low 300,000s right now. So days to sell are up at over 117 days, and inventory is remaining stable and just slightly down from before. So if you're a buyer, I think this is really where your opportunity is right now to leverage that buying power. I know there's still a few brand new condos at LS1, which is a block from Lake Okanagan, on the same street as Cannery Brewing, and walking distance to anything in downtown Penticton. And they're still going for under 300,000. There's a couple units left. So I think this is a great bargain. So what's going on in Kelowna, Marika?
Well, why don't I start with condos? Because condos, we have the most of condos. The inventory is up for our condos, but not as much as it is up with single family it's more up than it is with single family and townhomes. So I have my trusty stats right here. Yes, our average days on the market are also down. They're down about 15%. So everything in Kelowna is selling a little bit faster these days. Our inventory is quite low, and there's a bunch of reasons for that, which I will talk about after I'm done with these. Our benchmark price is hovering around $395. So, people are willing to pay a little bit more. I think because of the amount of people coming to Kelowna from different places, that keeps our pricing, steady Eddie. And condo sales are up. If we're looking at last year's numbers, we're about 60% up from what was going on last year. Yeah. And, I also like to do stats week to week. And I did notice inventory has been up since last week, but sales have been down about 50 sales. So, that shows you maybe the market is slowing down a little bit.
And going into winter, that's typical. So
exactly. So our townhomes, their benchmark price is about $100,000 more than condos. We're sitting at around 492, and that's also up from last year, which is to be expected. Now look at this, sales are up 156% from last year, which is
that's crazy.
Humongous. So inventory is also up, which, more people, I think, after the whole COVID lockdown decided let's put our homes up on the market. But single family sales, that's the big one. That's what a lot of people are after. Very low inventory with single family sales. Sales are up over 115% from last year, which is huge. There was 354 single family sales last month, which is a lot. Now our benchmark price for single family has gone up. It was sitting around the 640s a few months ago, and now it's at 728,000. So again, This is up from last year at this time also. We know we had a little bit of a super hot market in 2017, 18, and then it kind of simmered down. So definitely on the rise again. Not sure how COVID's going to affect that, but
I know the case numbers are just spiking every day.
Right. So we'll talk about that next. But yeah, so I think what I'm seeing is an increase in sales because of people's lifestyle changes.
Yes.
And we're seeing, a decrease in inventory because one, people are maybe a little bit hesitant to move. The one reason that they might want to sell their homes at this time is that pricing is staying, still pretty high. We're not seeing a huge drastic amount of price reductions right now. So the ability to sell for a higher price, I think, is there. That being said, we never want to overprice. As we know, those homes are going to sit on the market if we don't price them accordingly. If you 100%. Do overprice your house, make sure you have a little conversation with your realtor within the first couple of weeks to see what's going on there. Maybe, you guys just priced it wrong. It could be adjusted, no issues, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's our quick market update. So we're planning on doing a market update every week. So maybe next week we can do kind of a difference between what's going on this week to next week. And then we can do a 1 monthly update also.
Absolutely. I think that's a great idea so that people can really tell where the trends are going so that you can catch it beforehand, and be in the know.
And I like to be specific. So it's nice that you're doing mainly Penticton area. I'm mainly doing stats for Kelowna, West Kelowna, the central Okanagan, not getting too far out. And of course, both of us are able to do even more specific stats on your neighborhood. And I think within the last 3 months, you kind of want to know what's going on. Like, do you want to sell now? Do you want to wait? Last year's stats are important, but at the same time, we want to have real-time info. So we're both available for that anytime.
Anytime.
Real estate.
Great. So should we get into our topic of the day?
Sure, let's do it.
Of real estate in the Okanagan.
What's that? Sorry, I missed that.
It's our first time. We're new.
I was talking.
I said, let's get into our topic of the day, the reason everybody's here. So what does the future of real estate in the Okanagan look like?
Wow, my goodness. Everyone thinks they're a real estate expert, don't they? You know what? I don't know what the future of real estate holds, but I do know this. So things are tightening up again with COVID. Yes. That's what's going on right now. So let's talk about how that affected us previously around April time. So what happened there? All of a sudden, we've got a pandemic on our hands. Everyone's out of work. People are scared to go out. We go
into full lockdown mode.
Full lockdown mode. What happened to real estate then? Well, we realtors were not allowed to work. And I think the shock that came to the community was, I'm not going anywhere. Everything's on hold. Let's see what happens. So that's what we did. And, mid-April, we started becoming essential. People have to still move. So we started getting out there, practicing, COVID safety with masks, with every house that we went to look at had a little note on the front, gloves for us, extra masks.
There's long waivers that you have to sign now before entering a house.
That's right. So you can't enter a house without signing a waiver stating that you're not sick, you haven't been traveling, all that kind of stuff. And next thing you know, the market blows up. So everybody's busy. Everybody's all of a sudden moving.
Houses are selling like toilet paper.
Yes, exactly. We're offering toilet paper as closing gifts, and things are going quick. People are wanting to get out of big cities to get away from COVID, right? So now I think things have simmered down, but still pretty solid out there. I'm still pretty busy, and obviously that depends on the realtor also. Some realtors are super busy. Some, have done all their sales and they're ready to go on vacation now. They're done, which is not
people's own personal health as well. I think some have probably taken a step back a bit just to preserve their own family and their own health, and depending on their comfortability levels as well.
Exactly. So, as we go into the down market now with, Christmas coming up, I do see it slowing down a little bit. I think a lot of people would be leaving town going on vacations. Now they're kind of rethinking, so they're going to maybe stay put. So maybe we're not going to see as many sales coming into the market. If there's another lockdown, that's definitely going to affect it. People are probably going to take it a little bit more seriously this time if the businesses are shut down again and people can't work and can't make money. So I think it's definitely going to affect us. I think we have to just continue to be diligent with our practices as realtors.
Have our safety protocol on hand, ready to go at a moment's notice.
Exactly. And keep educating people and not being lenient with those safety protocols. We want our economy to thrive. We want our real estate market to keep going. We want to stay busy.
100%.
Everyone's safe, right?
Yes. That's like, our customers are our number one priority, and whether it's getting you the best price for the sale of your home or keeping your home safe, it really comes down to your safety is number one.
Exactly. And even our sellers, we ask everybody and we make sure we have the proper things at the home for them to, feel safe. The important thing is to feel safe and make sure that nobody's, doing something that they shouldn't be doing in terms of.
I know it's kind of funny how nowadays we have to go around with the sanitizer after we show a home and, wipe down all the handles and wipe down the surfaces and open the windows and air out the house. And this is just something that's become a part of our day-to-day routine now that people probably don't know.
Yeah. And, it's tough sometimes. I show homes to a lot of families and families that have children. It's really hard to control, kids when they're at someone's house. I've had to ask people not to bring their kids on showings, and that sucks because it's always funner with the kids. They want to experience it too.
It does. And you want your whole family to be able to really see a home before you decide that that's the one.
Exactly. And not even having Zoom calls with people and not really being able to meet them in person or shake their hand. A lot has changed, and I think it's going to change our relationships. I like that we all kind of have this mutual understanding with COVID and what we have to do. So you know what? Like yesterday, we were doing elbow bumps. It's all good. We have that understanding. So hopefully
it's the new norm, which I hate using that term, and I picture Norm every time I do it from Cheers. Have you seen that meme? It's like Norm in a mask, and it's like the new norm.
Nope, and I never watched Cheers, so I don't even know. See, I'm terrible for stuff like that. You'll have to show me that meme later.
100%. I think it's interesting the role that technology has really played with COVID and the lockdowns and things like that. So what have you used that's new in technology that you probably relied on more heavily during COVID?
Oh, 100%. It's the video chatting. And I like to do videos through WhatsApp Messenger because I find it's the only platform that I can go around and do a video tour for a client from out of town and actually send them the whole video with full quality. So I've been doing that a lot. And then just having our brokerage be so technology focused. Everything that we do is very, top technology stuff. So, from our virtual meetings to the way we communicate, it's just, we were built for this is what we say at EXP. We were built for this, and it's only going to get more towards what we're doing. So I'm glad we're leading the way. That's all I have to say.
Absolutely. And like, for me being a newer agent, EXP was my only choice. Like I did my due diligence in researching the other brokerages, but just with technology and the fear of a potential shutdown again, it's everything that you're able to work wherever, whenever. It's the Amazon of real estate. So
and another thing, as a new agent, I know when I started with a bigger brokerage to start with, and the fees. There's a lot of fees. It takes a lot of money to become a real estate agent. First of all,
it absolutely does.
Right? You just did it. So you're committed to the program. You're paying licensing fees, which are quite extravagant. I mean, we need to be licensed, education, all that stuff. And then, most likely you're not going to be doing a sale for a couple of months at least until you really get going. So you got to have your costs covered, and having a no franchise fee with EXP is fantastic. And we have no overhead because we're virtual. Some people have offices, great. That's awesome, but we don't pay for them as
Some
agents.
people like the brick and mortar, but personally, I love that I am able to walk 10 steps to my office in my home, jump online, be in a meeting, and we're good to go.
Exactly. Just got to get ready from the bottom up.
Exactly.
Okay. So I guess, that should be good for us. We've been sitting here jabbering away for 45 minutes. And yeah, my dogs are now coming into the room, so who knows what's going to happen. But why don't, you know what? I'm going to save our business shout out for later, I think.
Sounds good.
And we can just wrap up. And you know what, Raina, I'm so glad we started to do this, and I can't wait for the next episode.
I'm so excited. I think this is a fantastic idea. Hopefully all our listeners think so too.
I hope they do too. And hey, we're going to get better and better every week. So
yes,
we look forward to seeing you guys next week and having this first episode out. And that's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Maybe we'll even have an interview to do next week. We'll see.
Maybe we will. All right, everybody. Have an awesome weekend.
Bye.
Bye.